What's up, Commanders fans? Are the Commanders about to make it to the Super Bowl? Because I know we got some tough people ahead of us. We could possibly, after this week, be making it to playing the Rams or the Eagles. And after that, maybe the Bills or the Chiefs or the Ravens. And it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to think about right now. But I know we got to handle one game at a time. And the game that we got to handle right now is against the Lions. And we know how tough they can be. And we know how tough they are. And their record speaks for itself, right? And a lot of people are counting us out, right? We're the underdog going into this game. And it's like, I really can't judge if I feel like we have the advantage or any of that. But I do know we have hope. And that is because of Jaden Daniels. And you see what Jaden did last week when his run game was doing absolutely nothing. It got stopped. He started to move the ball himself. You know, he started to make runs. And he had the most rushing yards in the entire game on our team. So that shows you how much of a factor our running game was. And it didn't matter who had the ball. You know, Austin Eckler or Brian Robinson. But those guys didn't make an effort. I mean, like, of course they did some great things, but they did better, close to almost better than I would say they did better in receiving. And I would only say that because it just felt like we were moving the ball down the field once we got them involved in the passing game. But it was just like it wasn't working. It wasn't working at all. And, you know, some people are already on edge with Brian Robinson, feeling like he's washed up. We need to at least make him a backup or get rid of him. And, you know, honestly, I feel like we should make him a backup. But enough about Brian Robinson because I know he's still going to be on this team next season. I just feel like with Jaden Daniels, you can't count anything out. This guy won against the Bengals in his rookie year. And we're talking about the Bengals that almost made the playoffs. We're talking about the 9-8 Bengals. We're talking about the almost MVP Joe Burrow going up against him head-to-head. And then the fact that Jaden has done a lot this season has really got a lot of people, a lot of fans inspired about this team, really talking about the team, really loving them. And it's like I've never heard people be Commanders fans in my life, and, you know, now people really love them. So it's like with Jaden Daniels, we have so much hope, so much. We don't expect much. We just expect to win. We want to win. We don't know how we're gonna win. That's how we think about. That's what we think about when Jaden is in. Like, we don't know how we're gonna win. We don't know when we're gonna win. But more than likely, we're gonna win. And he's already got his first playoff win in his very first season. And I'm not even shocked by the playoff win. I'm shocked. I'm still shocked by the Bears game. I'm still shocked by the Bengals game. I'm still shocked by the game that we won when he didn't even score. Just him being in the game helped us win the game. You know, when we played against the Giants. And of course they was trash, but I mean, they were still putting up numbers. And it was a close game. And then it's just like to go into overtime with the Falcons, like it's so many things that have happened that Jaden has been around, not just been involved, but been around. And because he's been around, helped us get to 12-5. And now that we 12-5, we're winning playoff games. And now we're getting ready to play the Lions, you know, a team that has had injuries on the team and has had wins still with the amount of injuries they've had on the team. And of course they can make it, they can do it either way. The pass game to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and it runs through him, or running it through Jahmyr Gibbs, you know, and they can do either one, you know, so it's hard to stop them, and they are a high-scoring team. So they're just like us, but with a better run game, you know. Of course, we run a lot, you know, with Jaden Daniels along with Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson, even throw in Chris Rodriguez. But it's just like they do it so well, and they're the top of the NFC. So it's like, like if we want to get to the Super Bowl, we got to go through them. And of course, there are other teams that we have to go through after them, maybe the Eagles or the Rams. But if you want to get to the top, we got to go through them, and this is the next step for us. Of course, there's a possibility that we can count ourselves out. But when we got Jaden Daniels, it's like, come on now. You can count yourself out, and just Jaden being there, he counts himself back in. Like, I don't know how he does it, but he does it. And and the thing is, he's far ahead of most rookies that usually join into the league. And because of all the games he's played in college and the years he's had in college, and it's just allowed him to be way better prepared. And then the snaps that he get in with the VR machine that the Commanders bought for him that he used in LSU, it's the same thing. And then, it allows him to get that training in. And then another thing that we've been doing all week is just training ourselves to get comfortable with the weather in Detroit, to get comfortable with playing a team like Detroit in a stadium like Detroit. We've been doing things to where we've been in the bubble, where we practice in the bubble and then we play loud music. So it sounds like they were playing really, really, really loud noise, and it was like it was supposed to simulate us in a crowd. So it was supposed to simulate a crowd being around us while we were practicing, and to make it feel like we were really in the game and we're trying to call plays and get familiar with certain things and just understand a lot that happens during the game when it's hard to hear, it's hard to see the signals, or even focus on what's going on. It just helps you focus more. So I'm glad that we're doing that this week. And then on top of that, we've been practicing outside, and not just in the bubble, but outside, to get familiar with the type of weather that we're going to be playing in, because we got to get comfortable with it. We got to get familiar with that type of weather, because that's not just one of the things that football players that are used to heat have when they go against teams that are used to cold. So teams like Miami Dolphins, like that was one of the things they struggled with. Like when they go up against teams like the Bills, like just the weather alone can hinder you. Like when you're not prepared for it, you're just not prepared for it, and it can really get in the way. And that was one of the things that people worried about when it came to Jaden Daniels playing. And it was like, oh, he's not going to do well in the cold. He's not really that good in the cold. But you see what he's been doing. He's been doing phenomenal in all the cold games, So that's not a problem. It's just a matter of our wide receivers catching the ball and our cornerbacks giving up big plays. And in the last game, a lot of people were talking about how, what's his name? The boy we got from the Saints, Marshawn Lattimore. They were talking about how Marshawn Lattimore was looking like Benjamin St. Juste out there. And to the point where they had to even shift him from one side to the other to not play on Mike Evans anymore. And they just double-teamed Mike Evans instead. It got bad. And I said this myself. I said that Marshawn Lattimore, from the game that I seen from him, that he struggled to keep up. And of course, it happens when you haven't been playing the game for a while. And he hasn't been playing the game for a while. He's been injured. But he came back and he played the Saints game, and then he played the Eagles game. And then he re-injured himself in the fourth quarter, of course, going all out. But that showed us a lot, That showed us that, hey, he got to knock the dust off. And, of course, in the Saints game, they didn't even target him. So that alone didn't have him working as hard. You see what I'm saying? And then the Eagles game, that's when he really got the workload. And it was like, all right, now he got to really turn up. And when your body's just not ready to that much that much. For you to be that physical just that early, after just coming off of not doing any of the, the high volume work that you usually do, you haven't been doing it for weeks, so your body is not ready. Even though he played against the Saints, so then he got injured, came back, and I was like, dang, bro, I think he should have played in that Atlanta Falcons game. My bad, not the Atlanta Falcons game. In the very last game we had, I think he should have played in that game, only just to get some reps in and get familiar. But I understand we wanted him to be healthy for the game that we had coming up against Mike Evans, and he was healthy. He made it through the whole game, but he definitely struggled. He struggled a lot, and it's cool. It happens. He just has to continue to go out there and play. And he didn't look any different than Benjamin St-Juste. He was definitely giving up penalties and doing all the same mistakes that Benjamin St-Juste does, Michael Davis does, at times Noah Igbenogany. And it happens as a cornerback. You get beat. But the thing about coming off of an injury, that's in your head. That's in your mind. That's slowing you down. And sometimes, players come back before they're actually ready and then, end up re-injuring themselves. So it's hard to get ready, especially at the end of the season when you missed the majority of it. And it's like, all right, where do I get in? Where do I fit in? When do I get the time to, get these reps in and it not cost me the game or cost me a play or cost me my season or next season? You know what I'm saying? It's like you're thinking about so much. You're trying to do what you can to help the team, but not do too much to where you hurt yourself and hurt the team as well. So hopefully he plays better next game, and we really get to see him play better and not hold so much and get beat so often. So, but I think as long as we as long as he gets back up to speed, because, when you don't want to lose your job, that is one reason that you do come back. You don't want to lose your position. You don't want to get traded. You like what's going on. You like where the environment that you're around. You like what's happening, But that's another thing. You can be the greatest player in the world, but an injury will definitely hold you down. Everybody's not Adrian Peterson. You can't come back from a tear on your, I think, MCL, ACL, something like that. But he's one of the greats. He came back and then had a phenomenal season, had a phenomenal career after that, even though he didn't get a Super Bowl, but he still played a very long time in the league after having a severe a severe injury like that. And most people can't say the same. So for a cornerback, that's a huge thing. So it's like it kind of keeps you playing off. And you could tell in that game he was playing off a lot. Marshawn Lattimore was playing off a lot, and he was giving up a lot of space. And he really didn't want to get beat anymore. I understand, but it's hard to play that position. That's a really hard position. I'm gonna pull up a poll. I'm gonna put up a poll talking about which I think is the hardest position in the NFL. Is it quarterback? Is it running back? Is it cornerback? Is it lineman? You just let me know. Is it coaching? That's a position as well. But let me know what it is, because I'm curious. Because for me, I feel like the most complicated thing is a cornerback. Because I feel like your workload is so much. You're trying to figure out where to place your feet, place your hands to press them before they get off the line. And then you're trying to backpedal and then try to be fast and turn around. And you got shoulder pads to worry about. You got to track the ball. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. But, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And also, man, let me know what y'all want to see, what y'all want me to talk about, which I think I should do better. Just talk to me. You know what I'm saying? See what's going on, man. And, man, I'm excited to see what we got next, what we going to do, man, what Jaden's going to do. Because you never know. You never know what Jaden's going to do. So it's hard to even say, like, if we're going to win or lose. I'm just going to watch the game and enjoy it. I'm happy that we made it this far. I didn't see this happening. I thought we was just going to lose in the first round. That's literally how I played out this season. I thought we was going to be 10-7 and we was going to lose in the first round. And I was just going to be happy that we made it to the playoffs. and Jaden has done way more than that. So, man, all I can hope for is that we get to the Super Bowl. And imagine if Jaden was able to get to the Super Bowl in his very first year, man. He'd be the greatest greatest player in the world, bro. I'm telling you. And not just get there, but I mean win. He'd be the first player to ever do that and win, And I'm excited for what we have, what we've been built, what Dan Quinn done built. And then you think about it, we going to Dan Quinn. All right, nobody thought about that? I'm sure somebody did. But then you think about the fact that we're going there and Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator, is the same guy that we was about to hire for our head coach. And he didn't come here. He said no. And then we got Dan Quinn. And then Dan Quinn ended up being the head coach. And we're facing off in the playoffs. Ain't that crazy? But, man, we got a lot to look forward to, man. And it's going to be a really great game. And, man, nobody's seen this happening. Nobody's seen this coming. But, that's how it is in the NFL. It's just, you never know what's going to happen. But you just got to appreciate it as it comes. And it's like, man, it's a long season, man. And we've gotten all the way to this point. And I'm just like, yo, after seeing Terry so happy, man. And people were saying, like, yo, Terry McLaurin is the only person that really, 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 truly deserves this. And he's been here for a very long time. So I applaud the staff and everybody that brought this man what he needed. He needed a great quarterback. And he got that in his very rookie year. In Jaden Daniels' rookie year. And helped Terry McLaurin get to 13 touchdowns. And then, including the postseason, 14 touchdowns in his very first year. So it's like, imagine where we're going to be next year. But right now, I'm so excited about this year. It's like, let's see how far we can go in the playoffs. Let's see how much work we can do. How much more we can do. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to next week. Let's get to the next week. Let's get to the Super Bowl, man.